Hey guys, and welcome to episode 12 of how to be a 3D animator. In the last video, we learned an easy way to group select controls. Now in this video, we're going to implement what we learned in the previous video, except the controls we select, we can save the poses we have on them, and we could reuse them later. I'll show you exactly what I mean. So here, I'm actually just double clicking on the two poses I've saved, and it's switching poses. Now watch this. If I select on the second pose, and I drag this bar, you can pick an in-between. How crazy is this? And on top of this, you could also save animations. So you could implement in run cycles or any other sort of secondary animation that you'd like to implement in by a click of a button. How crazy is that? Do I have you hooked yet? Make sure to stay till the end. Let's get right into this video. So we're going to use Studio Library to save our poses and animation. And I'll show you how to do each, but first, let's actually download and install the program. Again, as usual, all the links will be in the description. So what you want to do is go to Studio Library, and you'll end up on this page. And all you have to do is just click download, unzip your file, and you'll end up with something like this. We're just going to open this. And there is a readme and there's an install instruction, but I'll just tell you what to do because it's super simple. So once you have it unzipped, you want to open up your Maya, open up the folder on top, and select the install.mel file, click and drag it onto your Maya view panel, drop, and this little icon pops up here, this blue page icon. So you want to click that. Now you've opened up Studio Library. And usually if it's your first time opening it up, it'll ask you to select a folder where you would like all your poses to be saved. So just do that, just select the folder. And once you've done that, you'll end up with something like this. Now again, if you watched the last video, you should already know how to create your own picker. So I'm going to just bring my picker out, have it right here. And I'm going to move my Studio Library. So just a quick overview, you have several options. First one is you can right click, go to new folder, and I'm going to create a folder called Adventurer. Press OK. Now in Adventurer, you can have subfolders. So I'm right clicking on Adventurer, clicking new again, folder, and I'll say hand poses. Okay, there we go. So now we have adventure, we have a subfolder, and now that we have the subfolder selected, highlighted, in this section right here, I'm going to right click, click new pose, and in my picker, I'm selecting everything on the right hand. So all the fingers, I'm selecting all the fingers on the right hand, and I'm going to call this light grip, and actually I'll put R before that because it's the right hand. So right grip, and I'm going to select my Maya, make sure the proper keys are selected in the picker, and click on the image right here. Click on this image box right here. There we go. So now it's saved that image for that pose, for that name. And now if I press save, and let's say I want to change the pose to something like this. So let's say this is our pose. And let's say I want to go from this pose to what we had before. So I'm going to set a key here, go to frame 6, for example, and then just double click on the pose we saved, and voila. And in fact, we can go back to our first pose. So make sure everything is selected in our picker, the hand, for example, and new, right click, new pose, right, we'll say displayed. So right hand displayed, click here to take a picture, click save. Oh, no folder was selected, so let's select hand poses. Highlight it, press save, and there we go. Now the cool thing is, you could also save animations. So let's say I want to save this animation we have right here. I'll just make it 10 frames and add some tween out. There we go. So again, make sure everything is selected. Right click. This time animation. And we want it from frame 1 to frame 10. And we're going to name it grip, anim. And again, we're going to click here. And now we can, so we have a preview of what the animation looks like. And then we're going to press save. And there we go. It popped up right up there. And now if we go ahead and delete this animation, so we have nothing in here in our timeline, I'm going to go to frame 1, select our animation, make sure again that all of our selections. So here's the thing. If you don't know exactly what keys you selected, let's unselect all this stuff. Let's just say I select the character's center of gravity. If I can't remember what controls were selected when making this animation, I can right click on it, select content, and it selects exactly what I had selected when I made the poses for that animation. So if you forget, you can just right click, select content, and it will only select the poses you set a keys on. So now I'm going to press apply, and there we go. Our animation's back. Okay, so in regards to poses, the most used poses in TV production would probably be facial and mouth shapes. And mouth shapes are used for lip syncs. It gives you a really nice starting point when you have several poses for every pronunciation of a letter, and it increases the time it takes you to animate a character to talk by probably 10 times. Like, it'll make it 10 times faster if you have starting poses instead of trying to make every single mouth shape from scratch every single time. Speaking of mouth shapes and lip sync, that's actually what we're going to be doing in the next video. So it's a great follow-up from this one, which is a great follow-up from the previous one, which is what I'm trying to do with this channel, just a follow-up of a follow-up. So hopefully you guys paid attention. Now again, this doesn't stop at fingers. You could use this for facial expressions, blinking, full body poses, cycles, and this is especially useful when you have several scenes, meaning different files for the same film. So especially in production, you have one episode cut up into hundreds of files. And so if you want your shot to hook up with a previous shot, you just go to the end frame of your, let's say shot 10, you go to the end frame, you select everything, you go to pose, and you say HU, which stands for hookup, and shot 10. And we'll just name the character as well. We'll say adventurer. Click the pose, save it, and once you open your studio library in shot 20, you can just go to frame 1, click on your hookup pose, and it'll go to the ending frame of your previous shot. Alright, so that about covers this video. I hope you guys took some value from this video, and if you haven't already, make sure to smash that like button, hit the sub button, hit the little notification bell to stay notified of future videos. Happy animating, guys, and I will see you guys in the next tutorial.